What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all come on in here, man. Come on to the live stream. Let's chat. Let's have a boxing conversation concerning Laila Ali and Claressa Shields. Y'all forgive me for my voice. I'm a little under the weather right now. I've been taking this medicine, drinking this tea, trying to shake this cold up out of me. Me and my son have both been enduring a significant cold, so I'm just trying to shake it. But in the meantime, between time, we're gonna still get these videos done. We're gonna still get these live streams out. We're gonna still have conversations on this channel. We're gonna still have fun over here, right? Because that's the way I'm able to shake a lot of this sickness and cold up out of me. Still having fun, taking my medicine, drinking my tea, but still enjoying myself at the same time. And there's nothing I love to do more than get on here and make content, right? Um, I'm waiting for y'all to pop on in here. What's going on, y'all? What's cracking? Y'all say what's up to me in the chat as y'all come on in. Y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in here. It really helps me out within the YouTube algorithm. If y'all hit the like button when y'all coming into the stream, the more likes I get, the more my videos seem to be pushed. So I appreciate that from y'all. CJ, what's going on? What's going on? Man, like I say, I'm feeling a little sick right now, but we gonna shake it off, man. What's up, y'all? Hope everybody enjoying a Sunday. Some of y'all probably just getting out of church. If you go to Baptist church, I know church is probably just getting up out of there. I know how Baptist church keep you in church for 4 hours. For real. It be 2 services. It be a poet at church. The choir be doing 25 songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Jaren Walker, what's going on? Are we surprised she turned down a fight? She retired in 2007. Oh, no, I'm not. We're not surprised at all. At all. But there's a problem that I have with this whole thing. Yeah, there's a problem. And right, and I knew she wasn't going to take the fight. But you had people really believing that Laila was going to come and fight her and beat her. Laila was out here making people believe she would whoop Claressa Shields today and she would knock her out. That's the issue. Okay, because Laila was out here making it seem like Claressa Shields would be easy work for her, even in her 40s. And we all know that's not true. And listen, man, Laila was a legend in her time, right? She laid the groundwork for women's boxing. Claressa Shields now has the torch, and she is keeping women's boxing going. And she's been fighting in MMA and all of that. Claressa is keeping women's combat sports alive right now. She's doing her thing for real. Seriously. But Laila paved the way, for the younger fighters today. But Laila was out here making it seem like she really wanted smoke with Claressa. Like she would beat her. And a lot of Laila's big fans came on here telling me that Laila was still going to make easy work of Claressa Shields because Laila got 22 knockouts and Claressa got 3. And I told y'all in the sport of boxing, knockouts don't mean anything. It's all about who you knocked out. Who you knocked out and are you in boxing shape? Yes, Laila Ali is in physical condition. She's in physical shape, but she is not in boxing shape. Those are 2 different things. You can have 6-pack abs and still not be in boxing shape at all. That's the thing about this sport, man. You could be having 6-pack abs, but you're not conditioned to throw punches. Throw punches for minutes at a time and have somebody throwing punches at you and you dodging punches for the whole round. Glambriella Styles, what's going on? Autism Boy, what's going on, man? Roseball, what's happening? SL, what's the word? Jaren Walker, what's good with you? Is Laila Ali overrated as a boxer? Slightly. You can only beat who's in front of you, So she beat everybody, not everybody, because she didn't fight Ann Wolf at all. And Ann Wolf was a major threat. Big threat. She avoided that fight. So again, she fought like who was around for the most part. But women's boxing, the competition in women's boxing is much better today. than it was when Laila was fighting. And a lot of people don't know that. Women's boxing, it still has strides to make now. When Laila was fighting, women's boxing was in its infancy. I'm talking about a lot of them girls that was fighting just tried boxing out. They was just trying boxing out and was already professional. They was just trying it out and just was professional then. Are you aware of Amanda Nunes? Yes. I would like to see Claressa fight Amanda for sure. I would like to see Amanda fight Claressa, definitely. But yeah, so this is the thing though, right? Because Laila the one that came out and said that Laila the one, she was the one who came out and said if they give me 15 to 20 million, she would entertain it, right? She would entertain it, right? Claressa went and got the 15 million secured, and now Laila talking about nobody calls shots on me. When I'm ready to do something, I'll be ready, but nobody calls shots on me. Nobody calls shots on me. Well, ma'am, do you want to fight or not? Don't come out here and say if you were entertaining, if you get 15 to 20 million. What happened was Laila didn't think that money would be put up. And so she said that number thinking that it was too astronomical for that to be secured. But she found out that money can be secured for sure. And now she backing out. Like, I know fighters been doing this since the beginning of time. I've seen fighters try to price their way out of fights all the time. They say something like, I want 50 trillion million $100,000, right? Knowing ain't no goddamn such thing. But they throw that number out there because they know you ain't going to be able to get that for them. That's their way of saying, I don't want to fight. When Laila was saying 15 to 20 million, she wanted that. That was her way of saying, I do not want to fight. I don't want to fight. But Claressa called Laila Ali's bluff. She called her bluff rather. And she said, okay, cool. You say 15 million, 15, 20 million. Let me go get this 15 million real quick. And now Laila like, nobody calls shots on me. Well, don't do that. Don't come out here talking about you will knock her out. She ain't no competition for you. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And as I'm saying, Claressa is a world-class fighter. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She's been a champion across like ASL. I think it's about 5 different weight classes, bro. Like 5. You know what I'm saying? She's been undisputed in like 3 different weight classes. That is unheard of in women's boxing. And again, the talent pool is much deeper today than it ever was when Laila was fighting. But Laila, people looking at Laila Ali, they're looking at knockouts. They're looking at the fact that Muhammad Ali is her father. They're looking at how fine she is, and they think, oh man, she'll beat that girl. I saw people saying this is an Ali we talking about, and I tell people, last names don't win fights. They don't. If that was the case, Jackie Frazier would have been the second greatest women's boxer to ever breathe oxygen on planet Earth, and she's not. She's not. Last names don't win fights. The fighters win fights. And people were bringing up, and I told people, Laila is too old to be even trying to even entertain that and saying stuff like that. You know, people talking about, Will George Foreman won the heavyweight title at 45 years old. And I told y'all before, Big George had been fighting for 7 years by the time he won a heavyweight title. He had returned to boxing. He retired at 28, came back at 38. And he had been fighting actively for 7 years before he even won the heavyweight title. You think Laila finna come out of her house? She finna just come out of her house and come from being just a caretaker and a mother to beating the greatest women's fighter in the world. It's not gonna happen. Laila ain't her timing off. She's older. she don't got fresh legs in a boxing ring. Oh my God. Like no. Yeah. Laila is smart. Glad she turned it. Yeah, turn that down. You know, but I don't like her making it seem like she gonna do that. And people out here really telling Claressa she about to get smoked. And I'm like, boy, it was gonna be a whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing had they got in the room, had they got in the ring. And the slow singing and flower bringing was not gonna be for Claressa Shields. It was not. And so I'm glad. I'm like, yo, you don't need to do this. You're older now. You got a family. She got a husband. She doing her thing. Live your life. But don't be out here trying to act like you finna smoke this young girl. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Because it just, that is uncalled for. It's some fly. I don't know how the hell flies are getting in my house. I don't know how. For real, man. I'm in an apartment. I don't know, not in my house, in my apartment. I don't know how flies are getting in here. It's quite annoying. But I'm with y'all, man. Yeah, but I'm glad Laila turned it down. But Laila shouldn't have been out here poking her chest out, acting like she gonna whoop Claressa and get her up out the way. Cause that's not the case. Getaway K said the whole thing felt like jealousy from Ali. Really, man, this all started because Laila was going on interviews and they were asking Laila, would she ever come out of retirement? Would she consider coming out of retirement? And instead of Laila saying, you know what, I've had my time is coming on. This is the time for the younger girls. I'm older now. My time is over with. I did what I did in my career. I had a great career. I'm through. Laila was out here saying, none of these girls is competition for me. I don't see nobody out here as competition that's worthy enough for me to come out of retirement. And when you say that, and Claressa Shields is out here dominating, yes, Claressa is going to take that as an insult because you're saying she's not good enough. She's not good enough for you to warrant even thinking about coming back. She's just not in your league. She's not in your league. You know, that's like, yeah. And as a fighter, fighters are sensitive to those type of things because they are warriors. So they have quick triggers. And if a retired fighter say that ain't none of these girls out here good enough for me to return against or be in the ring, they not on my level, they ain't good enough, they not competition. Yeah, you're gonna be like, hold on, how you gonna say that? And you see me out here actively doing my thing. You see me out here putting in work, winning belts across multiple weight classes. You see me out here being undisputed champion. You see me out here getting busy, and you out here talking about ain't nobody good enough for you to come out and box against. And Claressa is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. So yes, Claressa took an exception. She took exception to that. Like, yo, what? Yeah, she got upset. You know? Yeah, Laila finding in frog hair. She fine. I'm talking about finer than the ticket on the dashboard. I'm not going to even hold you. Laila fine. She fine as hell. And I'm like, she too fine to be taking a beating like that in the ring at 47 years old. Because even with George Floyd, when George Foreman got the heavyweight title at 45, he was fighting for 7 years actively, but he still was 2 years younger than what Laila Ali is now. George Foreman was 2 years younger. Big George Foreman was 2 years younger than Laila Ali is now. And Ali got almost 20 years on Shields. That alone would get you effed up in boxing. Age definitely matters. Yes. Yes, man. And I always tell people that. SL say, I remember having to argue with dudes saying Mike Tyson was just going to destroy Jake Paul like he was some scrub boxer. Yeah, and listen, he is not a world-class champion or anything like that. But he has some experience. He's been in the ring actively fighting. He's gotten better and better with every performance. You can tell he been working with professionals to fight. Mike been chilling, eating mushrooms, getting high, doing his podcast. Mike he's not in condition to be fighting, over no rounds like that. Even though he's the great Mike Tyson, legendary Mike Tyson. Get some dishwashing liquid and put vinegar in it. Okay, guy, hold on. Let me screenshot this. Yeah, I appreciate that, Ashley. Because I like, yo, where are all these flies coming from? Calvin say, I'll put it in a plate of gravy and sop up with a biscuit. I'm trying to tell you. Put it in a plate of gravy and slop up with a biscuit. She fine now. The autism voice say, was Mike Tyson overrated as a boxer? Yes. And look, now, my boy, you didn't start something now. Because now that I didn't answer that question, now they finna be mad at me because I said Mike Tyson was overrated as a boxer. Yes, he was though. Was he a great champion? I mean, was he great for boxing? Is he a top 10 heavyweight? Yes. You know? Um, did you talk about the Sha'Carri Richardson airport domestic violence incident? I didn't even watch the video. I did not. So I gotta watch the video, man. To see what really went down in that situation. But I heard there's a video out here. I saw the still shots, but I did not watch the video. Kenny C says, I respect her for turning down the fight. I believe she doesn't want to make the mistake her father did. Ali fought about 4 too many fights. Still the greatest. However, yes. I mean, this is my thing, Kenny C, and I appreciate you commenting. This is my thing, Kenny C. If you know you're not going to fight, don't be talking like you finna get in the ring. And Laila was out here actively talking like she about to get it cracking with Claressa. And talking about, she'll knock her out and, she ain't on her level and she ain't got the skills to beat her, this, that, and the third. Don't do that. If you know you ain't trying to fight, don't do that. But I knew she wasn't trying to fight for real. I knew Laila wasn't trying to fight when she said she wanted $15 and $20 million. Laila didn't think that money could be put up. And again, in watching boxing, I've seen fighters price themselves out of fights that they didn't want to have. I want $50 trillion million thousand dollars. Knowing there's no such thing as that number, and ain't nobody got that money for you to be fighting. They say that because they don't want the fight to happen. I don't think she thought that money would get put up. Claressa Shields allegedly secured that money and said, let's get it done. And Laila says, then Laila responded with, nobody calls shots on me. I do what I want, when I want, wherever I want. No one calls shots on me. Yeah, I know, Laila. And I love Laila Ali. I love Laila. Don't get me wrong. But Laila, I know nobody calls shots on you. I know that what you're going to say. I know that's what you was going to say. And it's good that you say that. Because, yeah. But you shouldn't have been out here acting like you was finna get it cracking. SL say, I'll get whooped for $50 million. F is we talking about. Now, me and you both will get whooped for that amount. But Laila has a reputation to secure. She has a lot of pride. If you've seen Laila Ali's interviews and how she carries herself, she is a very prideful woman. She's not going to accept defeat just to get that money. Because she know it's people out here saying that she could beat Claressa. And she know if she lose that fight, she's gonna feel the effects of that. She's gonna be like, dang, her ego is gonna get hurt. Laila got a big ego, man. Just like Claressa got a huge ego. That's what comes with fighting, though. Fighters have big egos. And I don't think Laila wants to get embarrassed on a big stage like that. Whether she get money or not, she is prideful, you know? Laila was not trying to fight no Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields would beat the ish out of Laila in her big mouth. Oh, man. Yeah, I had Claressa Shields winning that easily. Easily. But yeah, man, SL, me and you will get whooped for that 50 mil. Me and you will go in there ring and get smoked. But she ain't doing that because she's very prideful. Laila could not beat Claressa. I'm looking at the same. Could not beat Claressa even if they were the same age. I agree with that. I still think Claressa still would win. I think Claressa would still figure out a way to beat Laila. Now Laila she was a big woman. Big woman. She was strong. But Claressa is very skilled. Claressa know how to box. She know how to exchange with people and everything. People call Mike Tyson overrated as if becoming the youngest heavyweight champion ever, undisputed heavyweight champion, 2-time heavyweight champion is easy to do for a short 5'11" heavyweight. Now, listen, Mike is a top 10 heavyweight, but I think it's fair to call him overrated because most people think Mike Tyson is a top 2 heavyweight of all time. He is not. If you ask people to name the top 5 fighters to ever live and breathe on earth, most people are going to say Mike Tyson's in their top 5. You're going to have some people saying Mike Tyson, top 2 greatest fighter ever. He is not. Mike Tyson is not a top 5 heavyweight at all. And that's where he becomes overrated, because most casual fans only know him because of they saw the knockouts. So they put him in a ranking that I don't think I don't think, and a lot of even boxing aficionados don't think Mike Tyson should be in anybody's top 5 heavyweight. In fact, Mike wasn't even the greatest heavyweight of his own era. Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis were better heavyweight champions than Mike. But still, Mike was more exciting than them. He brought the excitement. He brought the casuals to boxing. He was exciting for people to watch. He was explosive. He had power in either hand. So he was fun for a lot of people to watch. And he brought casual fans to the sport. For real. Because of the knockouts. But yeah. He was still overrated as a champion, because people think he the second greatest heavyweight to ever live. And no. Claressa has not even reached her max yet. It is scary, but Claressa will get better. I believe that. Claressa is definitely still going to get better and better. Claressa I don't think Claressa in her prime yet. You know? So she still has a lot left to do and a lot left to even prove, for real. The Brown Bomber, now that was a great box. Joe Louis. Yeah, Joe Louis, top 5 heavyweight, for real. Rue say Evander was better, but Mike was exciting. Yeah, Mike was more exciting than Evander. He was more exciting than Lennox, for sure. He was. But I don't think he was a better heavyweight champion than them. In my opinion, they fought better in big fights. Those 2 fighters fought better in big fights than Mike did. Sir Preston said, I'm glad Ali turned it down. Yeah, I'm glad too, man. Because she don't need to be getting, she fine. She got a beautiful family. You know, she got a husband. She got all her faculties intact. Don't come out against this young girl and get peppered and get picked apart, for real. I suppose you've never heard of a man named Cassius Clay. I mean, of course. What do Muhammad Ali got to do? Why you say Muhammad Ali, Marte? Why did you bring his name up? Of course I know who Cassius Clay is, better known as Muhammad Ali. Said, damn, man, you never saw Coming to America. Oh, you talking about I'm tripping. Of course I saw Coming to America. You said, who, Cassius Clay? Cassius Clay? That man said Joe Louis 137 years old. If Joe Louis went from 75 to 137. I'm glad Laila Ali turned it down too. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that beat down. Facts. Bernard, I wasn't even thinking when he said that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why he bring up Muhammad Ali? Bernard Hopkins is my boxing goat. Bernard was very tough. I was just watching Bernard beat who was that? I just saw watching highlights of Bernard beating what's my man name that beat Roy Jones? Antonio Tarver. Antonio Tarver. I was just looking at the highlights like 2 days ago. Bernard was very, very nice, especially coming out of jail and fighting for as long as he did, reigning for as long as he did as a champion. That is outstanding. Outstanding. But yeah, I don't think you got any excuses tonight, man. Listen, man, when Tarver beat Roy Jones, man, that was a sad day, man. That was a sad day. But like I say, my uncle always told me Roy did a lot of things wrong in the ring, but he got away with it because he was so much more athletic than everybody else. He was faster and more athletic than everybody else. So it did not matter that he did things wrong. But as he got older and he started going up in weight and then trying to come back down, his athleticism it declined. And that's when he started getting knocked out. That's when he started getting knocked out at that point in his career. Whereas Bernard Hopkins, his style aged much better than Roy's style. You know, Bernard's style led to him being able to fight. So he was about like 49, almost 50 years old. You know, Bernard won a champion. When did Bernard win that belt? How old was Bernard when he won that belt? In like his 40s, he was like mid 40s, 46, 40, 45, something like that. Roy was at his prime when he fought Tarver, bro. Yeah, I believe that. And that's why his athleticism, you can see his athleticism had declined significantly. Um, and you could tell. But my uncle always told me Roy's style did not age very well. His style that he fought with was based upon athleticism. He didn't have a style like Floyd's style. Floyd's style was able to even go on until Floyd's style would even want to be able to, it would have him be able to fight into his 40s, but his hands were too brittle; they were breaking down. Um, yeah, Bernard Hopkins fought till he was 49 years old. Look at Andy coming in here. Claressa only wanted to fight her because Laila was the one telling people she wanted to fight her. Laila out here in interviews talking about she had knocked Claressa Shields out. Laila was the one talking about I'll take 15 to 20 million to fight Claressa Shields. And so Claressa called her bluff. You can't say that against a world champion boxer, the best women's boxer in the game. Say you would beat her up and you would take 15 to 20 million dollars to knock her out, and you would fight her for 15 to 20 million dollars, and you can't expect her to hear that and not call you up on that offer, take you up on the offer. So she said that in interviews talking about she get her 15, 20 million dollars, she get in the ring against Claressa. Claressa like, okay, cool. Hold on, wait a minute, just 1 second. Let me go get this 15 million dollars real quick. She got the 15 million dollars. Now Laila talking about nobody, what she say? Nobody controls me. Nobody calls shots on me. I'll do what I want when I want. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? My view against David Justice. Why was it a hot mess? David, I get him being upset if he didn't abuse Halle Berry, and Halle Berry, he been denying that he abused her for years. Halle Berry never said his name, right? But she never said it wasn't David Justice. David Justice say, I know who it was who abused her. I know who it was who abused her, right? He said that. But he said, but she keeps letting people think it was me. And if a woman is allowing people to think I'm Ike Turner, I'm going to be petty with her. You said scratch that. Okay, what part did you didn't like? I had nothing disparaging to say about Halle Berry at all. At all. Other than if I didn't abuse you, don't let nobody think I'm Ike Turner. So yeah, he feel a little petty towards Halle because Halle never cleared up them rumors. And she never said it wasn't David Justice, y'all. And if I ain't put hands on you, and you better tell these people I didn't do it, because they ain't gonna believe me unless you say it. So I'm with him on that. Don't have people out here thinking I didn't whoop you upside your head, and I ain't do that. I'm sorry. Another man hit you and made you lose your hearing. Don't make it seem like it's me. You come out and say it wasn't me. If it wasn't me, say it's not him. You feel me? Don't have my name and reputation get drugged through the mud now. Now, other than that, Andy, what was a hot mess that I said about Laila? Because I know you be having a problem when I be saying stuff in favor of men. When I say certain stuff, because on this channel, I have defended women endlessly on this channel, endlessly. You add all this context he didn't add. Hold on. Ain't nobody spoke on this man in decades. So ain't nobody spoke on this man in decades, but he's having an interview, Andy, and they asked him about Halle Berry. So he laid it all out. And if he chose to do that, so what? Like, listen, yeah, he didn't have to go into context about stuff, but he said what he said. He told his version of what happened in the story. And I think he did it because he's upset because Halle never cleared his name. So yeah, he could have left out that she proposed to him, but Halle admitted she proposed to him though. She admitted that though, right? And if you're in an interview and you know this, Andy, on any major platform, if you were attached to a major celebrity, they're going to ask you about your dating history with that said celebrity. He didn't voluntarily say, "Oh, let me tell y'all about Halle Berry." They asked him, "Let's talk about Halle," and that's where it went from. You know what I mean? And so CJ say, "I'm a woman," and I agree. You do not disrespect any women on the channel. I don't disrespect women on this channel. I've defended women countlessly on this channel. I think, and it is not in your specific case, not necessarily how you cover men at all. So how is it? What is it that you're upset with? Because you was mad at me for my Chris Brown video now, Andy. You got upset that I talked about Chris Brown. But then you got upset with me about how I covered Remy Ma and Claressa Shields. You said I need to call Papoose an abuser, but then you wanted me to not talk about Chris Brown's past, and you wanted me to only bring up his toy drives with his toy drives for mothers and stuff. So I'm kind of lost on what you want me to do on this channel, Andy. I'm kind of lost on that. Now, as far as Laila goes, I was most upset about Remy and Claressa more than anything. But see, I had no knowledge about Remy Ma saying that Papoose abused her. I didn't, and I told you that. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I had no knowledge about Remy Ma saying that Papoose abused her at all. You know, she said, "I think David just is mad he fumbled the beautiful Halle Berry." No, I think it's more than that, Rue. When I watched David's interview, David seems to be a cool, calm, and collected guy. Now, I don't know the brother personally, but I think he's still upset, and rightfully so, if he never hit Halle, and Halle Berry still letting people believe he hit her for all them years. You know what I'm saying? Like, Halle never said he did it. She never said he abused her, but she never cleared his name. Till this day, yesterday when that quote came out from that interview with David Justice, when that quote came out where he said Halle didn't cook and she didn't clean, you had women in the comments section saying, ain't he the one that beat her? Did he beat her to where she lost her hearing? And this man has been denying that for 15 plus years. And Halle has never said that he did it. David Justice says, "I know the man who did it to her. I know him. And I'm not gonna call his name out. That's not for him to do, right?" But Halle never cleared my name. She allows people to still believe that I was the one that did it, right? And you cannot allow, I'm sorry, if you allow me to get labeled as an abuser for years, I'm gonna feel a way about you. I'm sorry. If I didn't do it and you allowing people to think it was me, and you don't say David Justice didn't do that and I didn't do it, I'm gonna feel a way about you. I'm sorry. And I know that ain't okay, but I'm being real though. Like me personally, I ain't never put my hands on no woman in my lifetime. Any woman I have dated can tell you that's not my character. But if a woman that I dated a man after me or before me that abused her, and she talks about an ex-boyfriend that abused her, and me and this girl was together for years, and she know I ain't abused her, she need to say, it wasn't Malcolm I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? David did say anything about, he did. Go look at the interview, Andy. You ain't watched the interview on All the Smoke? Go watch the interview right now. You can skip to the part about Halle Berry. He's been saying this for years. He got a interview 9 years old, even older than that, that talks about him not abusing her. Why would someone admit to abusing someone? Right, they would, right? But listen though, if he didn't do it, if he's saying I didn't do it, Halle needs to say who did it then. Halle needs to say who did. She never said his name though. She always say an ex-boyfriend. He was not her ex-boyfriend. He was her ex-husband. He was her ex-husband, not her ex-boyfriend. So she needs to come, and people still be saying he the one that beat her. And what? If I'm dating a girl and she say her ex-boyfriend beat her, and I'm one of her ex-boyfriends, you need to say it wasn't me. You need to say it wasn't me. You need to say it was not me. You need to say it wasn't Malcolm. Yeah, I'm sorry. You need to clear that up. Because you ain't gonna have people out here thinking I'm the one that I'm Ike Turner out here. You're not gonna have it on my name. I'm sorry. You're not gonna have it on my name. But no, what did you say? You said so then I was upset that you came for Chris and attacked black women, but insulted black women for standing by Remy. Now, see, I didn't know about no abuse allegations from Remy. I was just mad that people was mad. People seem like they were more upset with Claressa because the Claressa is dating um Remy Ma. I mean, not Remy Ma. I'm sorry, Papoose more than anything. You know, that was my point. Gene Deal said it was Christopher Williams. Right? People been saying that it was Christopher Williams. I heard it was Wesley Snipes, etc. Yeah, he said no infidelity was involved on either front. He said that he ended the marriage because she didn't cook and she didn't clean, and he couldn't see himself having a family with Halle Berry. That's what he said. She didn't have she didn't have a motherly nature, and he really couldn't see himself having a family with Halle going forth. They had fun together and all that, but he really couldn't see himself having a family with her. And he did say, in hindsight, she was having her acting career. He was a professional baseball player, etc. You know what I'm saying? So, and he said they could have probably worked out if they went to counseling. But he said at that time, he really just couldn't see himself having a family with Halle. And so he ended the marriage, basically, And he said that after that, because Halle is an actress, like there was these rumors, like she has a PR team behind her. So there were these rumors that he was cheating on her and all of that. And he flat out denied any infidelity against her, with her, right? He said none of them were cheating on each other at all. Go look at how David Justice was in the marriage. He could not handle the beautiful. He could not handle her. Man, I'm going to say this. Papoose was cheating on Remy while she was in prison, even though he had conjugal visits. Remy was fighting his BM when she got out because she revealed she had been messing with Pap. Okay, see, I didn't know any of that information. And I told you I didn't know that, Andy. So, what was I going to say, though? With Claressa Shields, so as far as Laila Ali. Laila, man, I feel like Laila shouldn't have been, oh, my bad. Laila shouldn't have been talking like she was going to fight for real if she wasn't going to fight. That's my issue with Laila. Don't act like you finna get in the ring, you finna smoke this girl if you're not going to accept the offer. Don't get on social media talking like you finna whoop her, give me this $15-20 million, I'm going to make it happen. Don't do that if you ain't going to fight. Because it really made no sense for her to even be trying to fight at all. Laila ain't had a fight since I was in 8th grade, 2007. I'm now 32 years old. And Halle's still on his mind. Well, I don't know. Halle, I think maybe she is still on his mind. But they asked him about Halle, though. And he had an interview. Because he's a former baseball, he's a three-time Major League Baseball All-Star, 2-time World Series champion. He was doing a sports podcast. And men are gonna ask him about his relationship with Halle Berry. He was asked about it and he talked about it. And that was it. You know? Yeah. So I'm glad Laila turned down a fight. She has nothing to prove. She's going to be 48 this year. A loss would tarnish her legacy. I don't think it would tarnish her legacy. I think it would tarnish her ego and her pride. Most people would say, man, Laila way too old to be getting in there. But I think because of how Laila been talking, Laila been talking, saying she gonna knock Claressa out. Laila been saying Claressa ain't on her level. And when you talk like that and you go and get lose, I mean go and get lose. When you go and lose and get whooped in the ring, it look crazy. And that will Laila has a huge ego and big pride, as most athletes do. Claressa has a huge ego and a big amount of pride, as most boxers and athletes do, especially boxers, because they are warriors. They have different spirits than you and I. A boxer has completely different spirits than me and you. They go out there and punch each other in the head and body for a living. There's something completely different than me and you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, when the money got put up, Laila Ali gonna make a video in her kitchen talking about nobody controls me. Nobody calls shots on me. I'm gonna do what I want, whenever I want, when I want. No one calls shots on me. Because she said she wanted $15 to $20 million at first. Claressa went and got the 15 million put up. Now Laila talking about nobody calls shots on her, nothing like that. And then Claressa said that Laila's representation reached out to her and said that they are not interested in a fight with her. They're not interested in the fight. And I said to that, I said, yeah, I know, because it don't make no sense for a woman of your age who hasn't had a fight since I was in 8th grade. Literally, I'm not even trying to be funny. 2007, I was in 8th grade, right? She hasn't had a fight since I was in 8th grade. I'm 32 years old. You ain't been fighting that long. Think you're gonna come and beat the best fighter in women's boxing for real? You come and beat the number one pound for pound fighter in women's boxing and think you finna go out there and whoop her. You're out of your mind. And when people bring up George Foreman, I always remind people, George Foreman was actively fighting for 7 years before he won the heavyweight title again at 45 years old. He came back, he retired at 28, came back at 38, and it took him 7 years to build up and get his boxing, get it back in boxing shape and build himself in the rankings to get a heavyweight title shot, and he beat Michael Moore at 45 years old. And so, yeah, 2007, he said he was 27. 2007, man, I was 14 years old. I was getting ready to graduate 8th grade and enter high school. I entered high school in September of 2007. Graduated grammar school or elementary school. In Chicago, we say grammar school. Graduated grammar school in like June of 07. September 07, I was entering high school at Morgan Park High School on Southside Chicago. Michael saying 2007, I turned 4. For real, Michael? Laila doing trash talking is normal. I don't think Laila was just trash talking though. Laila sounded like she was for real. You know, Ali be trash. At her, she didn't sound like she was playing at all. She sounded like she was for real. Ali was a little bit more playful in his banter than Laila. Laila sounded like she was dead serious. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Laila looks amazing. She's in great physical shape, but being in boxing shape is two different things. That's just that's what I want people to understand. You can have six-pack abs. Um, you could have six-pack abs. You could be cut up and still not be in boxing shape. Cause you ain't in the ring boxing with nobody. Like, first of all, 1 minute is a long time to do anything. And I don't think people realize that until you time yourself doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, or whatever. So you in the ring for minutes at a time trying to dodge somebody else's punches while throwing punches yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's something completely different. Do you watch UFC? Nah, I don't watch UFC, CJ. And the reason why I don't watch UFC, because at first I couldn't understand why I didn't watch it. And I think the reason why is because brothers be on that. They be doing a lot of bootlicking in UFC. Most of the brothers in UFC be on that bootlicking time. They be Donald Trump loving like a mug in UFC. Donald Trump loving, they be ultra conservative. They be good old boys over there. It'd be hard for me to find somebody to identify with in the UFC Now, what I've been told is there are a few brothers who don't be on that type of time, you know, because at first I couldn't understand why I wasn't connecting with it, and I think that's what it is in boxing. There are some brothers that I can identify with and connect with in boxing. Like Deontay Wilder was a brother that was on code who I could identify with. Errol Spence, one of them brothers. We had Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, etc. You know what I'm saying? But Deontay Wilder especially though, like him and Errol Spence then was on code. So like it was easy for me to like root for them and to watch them and feel like ingrained in the sport for real. She said I'm the opposite. I don't watch boxing, but I'm a big MMA fan. I think MMA is easier to me. I think it's probably an easier watch than boxing. Because of the fact that you can use all different type of in combat. You're not just using your hands. He said, "Uh-oh, they gonna say you in the LDBC like you." I don't care, Shelton. They can say what they want to say. Shout out to the LDBC though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. For sure. It's a lot of brothers I know that make good content over there in the LDBC. But what was I saying? I think UFC is a much easier watch than boxing. Because of the fact that in boxing, fighters, especially when guys like Floyd Mayweather was a patient boxer. He wasn't rock'em sock'em robots. In UFC, it's a lot. At times, it's a lot more action. You can use knees. You can use kicks. You can use submission holds. You can knock people out with your fists. So I think it's an easier watch for anybody versus boxing, where guys that are, because it's a lot of being calculated and you only using your hands. A lot of times, a fight can be a lot more patient and slow than it could be in UFC. So I see the appeal of UFC. I see the appeal of it a mile away. I can understand why people love it for real. I don't, again, I think for me, and I'm gonna say this too, because I'm such a big boxing fan and I grew up watching it, I think I've become ingrained. I've become ingrained in my fault, I'm looking at something. I've become ingrained in boxing heavily. Shelton say that's how I found your channel a few years back. You made a video speaking up for the cause. Yeah, I think so. I think is that when I made the video about Terrence Crawford and the issues with the LDBC and why I understood why. Was I talking about that? Was I talking about LDBC or in another way? Maybe. I don't know. I think I probably one of the videos I think I did speak about Terrence Crawford's relationship with the LDBC and why I will understand why certain brothers might feel like, hey, Bud, why some brothers might feel a certain way about Bud in particular. Or was I talking about? I might have been talking about the LDBC support of Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence. It might have been one of them videos too. You know what I'm saying? Because I did feel like Terrence should have been doing more interviews with black media outlets, especially the ones that were championing him. They were big up in him when he was in his ascension in boxing. Because the LDBC was the ones talking about Terrence before Terrence became a household name. It was yeah, I know y'all never hated Bud. It was never about a hate for Bud at all. Because I knew the LDBC was the ones who was big up in Bud before Bud became a household name. Just the same way they was big up in Errol Spence. I remember this. You know what I mean? So, yep. From watching 7A Sports and my man Black Fight Fan TV. What he say? I know nobody gonna leave this earth and not knock up Muhammad Ali's daughter and marry her. She already married. It has 2 children. My boy, she already got 2 children. She married. Ali got a whole lot of daughters, a ton. He only got like 1 biological son. He got another adopted son, and the rest I think are daughters, as far as he knows. Because Muhammad Ali was with a lot of women. Muhammad Ali was with a lot of women, man. He been married about 4 times, and he was with a lot of different women, for real. Matter of fact, his second wife, Belinda still mad, or Kalila. I said Belinda. Kalila still mad at Veronica, at Laila Ali's mama for stealing Muhammad Ali from her. Veronica Porsche. He met Veronica Porsche over in Zaire when he was about to fight George Foreman, and he left with Veronica Porsche, and he was married to Kalila Ali at the time. Laila Ali's son looked just like his grandpa. He does. He does, for real. Ali acted like he was gonna beat up everybody. Yeah. Hey, no, Kalila's still mad, for real. She is. She mentioned it. She was rooting for. She said she would be rooting for Claressa Shields because her mama stole her husband from her. Because Layla mama stole Muhammad Ali from Kalila. Yeah, man. As great of a man as Muhammad Ali was, people always said his biggest shortcoming was being a womanizer. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the biggest star in the world. You know, handsome dude. He was big, tall dude, 6'3", you know. And at times, like a lot of people do, and a lot of men can do in general, you know, we let women and lust be our weakness. And women was Ali's weakness, 100%. That was his weakness. And he will tell you that probably. For real, Rue. Kalila came out supporting. She said she's supporting Claressa Shields because Layla Ali mama stole her husband from her. Ali didn't want Layla to box. He didn't understand. Yeah. Ali had when it came to he had his, what's the word I'm looking for? His views on, he was big on gender roles, and he felt like earlier in his life, he felt like a woman had no place in that ring, that they didn't need to be getting hit and punished like that. And I think he was thinking about what happened to him over his career. He lost a lot of his faculties. He became a shell of himself. Um, so yeah, he was a traditional Muslim man for the most part. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Who was a better fighter, George Foreman or Ali? I'm gonna say Ali. I'm gonna say Ali. George Foreman was an animal, though. An animal for being able to have. George had like 2 different primes, which is crazy to say. To still be knocking dudes out after you've been retired 10 years and come back and be knocking dudes out and to become heavyweight champion at 45 years old. That is an outstanding accomplishment. Zero, what's going on with you? Nah, look, Foreman never beat Ali. Ali beat Foreman. He never beat Ali. People thought Ali was going to get killed in the ring against George Foreman. Now, imagine you, when Ali fought George Foreman, his prime was already past. He was already past his prime. He had already had that 3-year suspension. Um, he already endured that 3-year suspension that the government had placed on him for refusing to serve in the military. So he had been out of the ring for a while, and his best years were really kind of past him for the most part. So when he beat George Foreman, he shocked the world once again, like when he beat Sonny Liston. He shocked the world once again because people didn't think he was going to beat George Foreman. George Foreman was knocking out everything he touched. He knocked out Joe Frazier. The way he whooped Big Joe, Smoking Joe Frazier, man. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I see. Foreman beat Ali. I think I know what Andy meant by that, man. I'm so glad Layla doesn't even look like she boxing anymore. Anyone. Yeah, she's still, Layla is beautiful. got all her faculties. She's, um, doing her thing, man. Still out here thriving, living, had her children, married, all of that. And that's great, man. I just don't want her acting like she finna get in the ring and she ain't gonna get in the ring. Just stay retired, do your thing. She's beautiful, got all the faculties. Are you saying it from like George Foreman was beating Ali most of the fight? Yeah, he was. But Big George, man, I always give credit to Big George, man, because Big George won that title at 45 years old, man. That's tough to do. That's tough to be able to do. Really, man, Evander Holyfield supposed to won that belt against Nikolai Valuev. They cheated Evander Holyfield too. Evander supposed to have been like 5-time heavyweight champion of the world. 5-time, he 4-time heavyweight champion. He supposed to be 5-time heavyweight champion for real. And we being honest. If we being honest. You know? Nah, George never beat Ali. From what I remember. He never beat Ali for that belt. Ali beat him, and they never fought after that. Or before that, from what I remember. Hey, look it up. I don't think I think they only fought that one time. Yeah, Foreman never beat Ali. In the movie, he only fought you probably talking about Joe Frazier beating him, but he never fought. He in the movie he only fought George Foreman one time. Him and George only met that one time. How was Holyfield cheated? He won on points. He won that fight easily against Nikolai Valuev. They gave it to Valuev, the younger guy, the big guy that they thought was going to be the poster child or the future of heavyweight boxing, Nikolai Valuev, who was like 7 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, George Foreman never beat. I'm like, I know I ain't tripping. George Foreman never beat Muhammad Ali. They only fought that one time. Ali shocked the world and beat him. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, Nikolai Valuev. Yep, that's when he got cheated against Valuev because he should have been. Evander supposed to have been 5-time heavyweight champion of the world. And we being honest. Hold on, y'all. So you stand corrected. Yep. Oh, what you talking about? Let me see. Oh, you said, yeah, Thriller in Manila was Joe Frazier. That was Joe Frazier. And that was Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. Absolutely, man. Man, boy. This name cold trying to get the best of you, boy. We gonna shake this off though. Ain't gonna take me about. Hey, look, I'm fighting this cold back. You hear me? We ain't gonna do this. Yeah, Joe Frazier was Thriller Manila. Joe Frazier. Man, I'm looking at Antonio Gates highlights. At the same time I'm talking, I'm kind of like clicking through. It still amazes me. Antonio Gates became an NFL Hall of Famer without playing one down of college football. That is outstanding. We're gonna talk about Shedeur Sanders too in another live stream later on. We're gonna talk about Shedeur. The weird thing is I know everything about that fight except that it was Frazier and I won. Yeah. Joe Frazier. Do you think Israel Adesanya should retire from MMA? Well, I guess that's what people have been saying. But because I don't keep up with MMA, I'm not versed to give you an opinion on that. Really, I'm not really educated to give you an opinion on if he should retire or not. But that's what I've been hearing, that he should retire. That's the word that I've been hearing. And so maybe so a lot of times it's hard for fighters to retire because they love the sport. They've been doing it for so long. They become adjusted to fighting all their life. All my life I had to fight. All my life I had to fight. So yeah. But yeah, man, I did see people say something about the Adesanya should retire from mixed martial arts. It's so funny to me, man. As the years have progressed, the interest in boxing has decreased, man. And UFC is like, people love UFC, even though UFC fighters don't make nowhere near the money that boxers make, which is a travesty. They be paying them UFC fighters peanuts, boy. They do not be getting paid for real like they should be, especially for how dangerous that sport is. Conor McGregor made the most money he ever made by far by getting into a boxing ring with Floyd Mayweather Jr. That's the most money Conor McGregor had made by far, getting in the ring with Floyd. I know to this day he never regret that. Because they don't be paying them boys in the UFC. I'd be so mad I'm out here getting put in the rear naked chokehold. I'm out here, a spinning kick come flying to my head, knock me out. I'm out here getting hit with elbows and knees and forearms and all that type of stuff. And I'm not getting paid no bread for real. I'm telling you, I'll be throwing a fit. Y'all better give me this paper. Boxing on the front end before pay-per-view, boxers be getting 3-4 million just on the front end before they start counting the pay-per-view sales and all the pay-per-view buys and all of that. They be getting a guaranteed 3-4 million. And then after that, after the pay-per-view, they be getting another extra 10-12 million. Like Errol Spence now, when Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fought, they took home about 30-something million at minimum apiece. 30-something million at minimum. Floyd Mayweather was making $100 million in the ring, man. And the UFC fighters, man, they be getting paid them little peanuts, man. I'd be like, come on now. Pay me $200,000. 500,000. I'm the top dog in the sport. I'm getting paid 500,000. I'm the top one in the sport. You out your mind. For the sport that they in, $500,000 is a significant amount of money. But when you look at other combat sports like boxing, And being a top dog, and for what you put your body through and all of that in that sport, yeah, Zero say I'm a big fan of MMA, but the fans are so bad, way worse than boxing fans. I think it's a lot of conservatives like that sport. A ton of conservatives like um MMA for several reasons too. Several reasons. MMA is kind of barbaric, and some of them conservatives are very, very barbaric. So it's trained. It's you're being trained. You're trained to be barbaric in that sport, but it's a little barbaric, and a lot of them conservatives got a lust for blood, I would say. Claressa going to challenge Christy Martin. Yeah, I hope so, man. Oh man. The UFC needs to stop pandering to conservatives and start appealing to actual fans. Yeah, I guess we will see if they will do that. I guess we gonna see if they gonna get to that, man. We shall see. Yeah, man. But look, man, I'm finna get off this thing real quick. I'm gonna get on again before I leave out for work tonight. I appreciate everybody that hopped on with me, had fun with me, and enjoyed the live stream and the content. I'm coming back later on before I go to work. So stay tuned, y'all. I'm out for the meantime. Peace.